So hey guys, this is my weekly report for June the 8th, and I had a little experience today at Stampede Kokanee Fishing, but I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. But first of all, I want to make sure you guys know that in the bay, San Francisco Bay, the halibut fishing, they changed the limit to two, so you can only possess two fish now instead of three. So the limit has dropped down to two fish. So the thing that's been going on this week is we've been having big tides. So if you look on a tide book and you see where it shows you in red that it's like a -1 or -1.2 or whatever, those tides are really fast. And usually you have wind because we got the full moon also. So you have wind, you got fast tides. It's gonna dirty the water up. I don't care where you're going. It's gonna change things. So the bay's been a little bit tough this week because of the heavy tides that we're having, and it's been a little tough. You could probably do a lot better on stripers, with the live anchovies. You can get it at Pier 37. They still have the bait available. And don't forget, on weekdays they close at 9 o'clock, so you got to get there before 9. And then on Saturdays and Sundays they close at 10. But the bay fishing, I think it slowed a little bit, mainly because of the fast tides that we're having. So I think we got another week of this fast tides. It's not very often where you have 2 weeks solid of fast tides because it's really affecting the bite. Some of the other things, the sturgeon fishing still doing pretty good. Gatecrafts are still catching them. Pretty soon a lot of the guys are going to switch over, do the halibut and then do the striper fishing. Some of the other things that are going on is coming up in the river systems right now. The water conditions are looking good. I've been down on the Sac River for the last 3 days, and the water is looking really good. It's still a little cool. As you know, I've been bass fishing, but there's a lot of stripers in the system. There's a tremendous amount of stripers in the bay right now. I know they're still catching them up north, up by Calusa, and I heard they're also doing pretty good up in the Feather. Those fish will start making their way down. And they're gonna group up. They're gonna hang around in the bay for a little while and feed there, and then a lot of them will head out in the ocean and head south and get up on the beaches. So there you could go out and throw spoons and catch them on the beach. The other things happening around in the river systems are the shad. They're coming up in big numbers now, so I've been hearing good reports. Guys catching them in the American now. And I know the Feather's been good. The Sacramento's been good. So the shad are here. They're catching decent sized ones, so that's a good sign. And like I said, I was down in the Delta bass fishing, and I did pretty good. I took my grandson out a couple days teaching him a little bit, but the bass fishing has been good. I noticed that a lot of the fish we caught the other day were spawned out. The water temperature got up to 67, but we have this full moon. I don't think most of them spawned, but a bulk of them did. I saw fry, which was a good sign, but they're real little, just little bitty fry. So I know that they probably spawned in the last, week and a half. So, that's happening. The bass bite's been off and on. It's been not red hot, but, you could always go and catch those bass. Other things happening is trout. I know Nate's been sneaking up to Comanche. He's still been catching them, and they've been catching some nice sized ones. And you have to use downrigger. You're going to be down there in that 30 to probably 50 feet of water now, since it's getting a little bit warmer. Berryessa has been pretty decent. They're catching a lot of king salmon. So if you guys want to go and catch king salmon, I would probably head to Berryessa. Kevin Fogel's been telling me, he's been doing pretty good. I imagine they'll start picking up at Folsom and Orville too. But the king salmon bite's been pretty decent. I went up there a couple weeks ago mooching, and I might get up there this next week if we keep having wind here. I might sneak up there and try my luck at mooching again, because Kevin told me that the bait balls are starting to bunch up. So if they bunch up, then I'm gonna go up there and give it a try again. So landlocked kings, I'm sure you can catch them pretty much at Orville, Folsom, Berryessa. Party I haven't heard too much of, but I'm pretty sure you could go there and crow for trout and also catch kokanee. The limit at Party is 10. Stampede is 5. Malones is 5. Buller's Bar is 10. Buller's Bar is probably the easiest place to catch them. Malones has been a little on and off because the water level has been fluctuating so much. But they're bigger. A friend of mine was there the other day. I think he caught 8, but he had them up to 17 inches, and they're fat. He said they were about 3 pounds, 2 to 3 pounds. Stampede. Stampede is on fire. I think the fish are a little bit bigger than Bullard, but the limit's 5. But you could catch your limit pretty fast. But I'll tell you at the end of this what happened to me today. Other than that, fishing's been pretty much about the same everywhere. I'll tell you what happened. I had a friend that he's put downriggers, Scotty downriggers on his boat, and we headed up to Stampede. And also another friend of mine, Rick Teagues and Roger Haney, and Mike went up also on their boat. I was just up there a week and a half ago with Roger, and we slaughtered them. I mean, we launched the boat at 6:30, and we were headed home at 9 o'clock, and we probably hooked 30 fish, and they're right around that 14-inch, and then with a few 16-inchers in there. So we get out there today, and did some videos, and I talked about having a hot boat and stuff. This is a really good example. Tom Lee, the guy went today with Tom and Deborah, he hasn't used his boat downriggers, and we go out, and we go out from the ramp, and then we put the trolling motor down, set the downriggers, and I'm grafting, and I don't see a whole lot of fish. So we go out and we just start fishing because the week and a half ago before that I really killed them. So we're trolling along, and I'm looking at the graph, and I'm not seeing much, and we're not catching much. And then Roger comes out, and I'm watching him, and he's about maybe 75 yards from me, and I see net flying, net flying, net flying, net flying, and I'm not getting a bite. And this is not typical of me. I understand how to catch these fish. So I circle around, and and we catch one, and then I got another one, but I'm still not seeing much on the graph. So I go cruising by Roger, and he's got a limit, and this is only an hour into the morning. And I asked him how deep he's fishing, and he's being a character, laughing at me because he knows I know. So but I just want to find out what's going on. So he's grafting fish, caught at the limit real quick, and they come by me at around 8 or 9 o'clock and said, "Hey, we caught a ton of fish. We're out of here." So actually, and then I had a cousin, Donna, that was there in her kayak, and when I went by her, she had her 5. I had 2. So I fooled around, and I figured it out after a while that Tom had a hot boat. I could not graft any fish. I see one here, one there, couldn't graft any. So when you get a negative charge coming off your cables, you're not going to catch anything because the fish will go around you like the plague. So I started wiggling around, and we started picking up one here one day. It took me till noon to catch 15, 14 to 16-inch kokanee, which normally it would only take me less than an hour. So he has a hot boat. So he's got Scotties. So the number one fix is either put a black box on it or take the wire off and put braided downrigger cable, and that'll solve all the problems. It took me a little while. I've never been in a boat that's hot, but I know all about it. I showed how, on my video when I did one on Kokanee how to test it, but I didn't bring a meter with me because I take it for granted that, you know, what's your odds of 1 out of 50 or 1 out of 75 that your boat is hot. But it happened to me. I figured it out today. It took me a little while, so we'll get that problem fixed. So if you're having problem catching fish and you're out there and watching guys land fish, you need to watch my video and take a voltmeter with you and check what kind of voltage is coming off that cable. If you have any kind of negative, then you need to get it fixed. Otherwise, you might as well just go home because you're not going to do very well. So it's a lesson learned. Took me a little while to figure it out, but you know, I got it done and still caught them, but it was a little difficult. But we caught our limit, and you know, I would recommend going to Stampede because they're nice quality fish for this time of year. I think in another month they'll be pushing 15 to 17 inches, and there's plenty of them in there. And one of the things is when we got ready to quit today, we pulled all the downriggers up, started putting in, and the graph was loaded. Fish everywhere on the graph. So when that cables were down there giving a negative charge, I couldn't even graft any. But as soon as we pulled everything up and I started putting back in, we graphed massive schools of them. So watch that. You know, if you're having trouble catching kokanee, don't think it's you. It could be the boat. It could be hot. So if you like this video, guys, please subscribe because it'll help me a lot. You want to leave me a comment, I used to get back to you within 2 or 3 days. And, you know, I'll answer any questions. I got over 100 videos out there. You can ask me on any of them. We're not quite back on track yet. We will here in the next, I keep telling you guys, in the next week or two. But hopefully in the next week or two, I'll get this thing back on track. And I'll be doing my teaching videos on Monday and my reports on Thursday. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.